Hi, I'm Sebastian Gomes, host of Salt and Light's book show Subject Matters, and here's my take on Conscience of a Nation, Jesuits in English Canada from 1842 to 2016, edited by Father Jacques Minette. This is Volume 3 in the Jesuit History Series published by Novalis. We also have Volume 1, Teachers of a Nation, and Volume 2, Builders of a Nation, and together these form a really complete picture of the Jesuit influence in English Canada, which is remarkable. Some of the topics that are included in this book are the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, and not only what they are, but how they've been adapted in different times, in different circumstances by the Jesuits in English Canada. They've been very effective at that, infusing their work with the Jesuit spirituality. Jesuit formation, which is connected to the exercises, obviously, is fascinating. We learn all about the development of the novitiate in Guelph, Ontario, which was really a farm, kind of a fun place to be. The Jesuit schools, Loyola in Montreal, Campion in Regina, Regiopolis in Kingston, St. Paul's in Winnipeg, Brebeuf in Toronto, Gonzaga, which later became St. Bonaventure's in St. John's, Newfoundland. And this chapter on the schools is fascinating because we see this constant tension between the Catholic schools and the provincial governments. Always a complex relationship, sometimes hostile. For example, when the funding was taken away in Newfoundland for Catholic schools, the whole story of the resurrection of Gonzaga into St. Bonaventure's is a fascinating story, and it's told in this book. The book tends to be a history that is particular to the institutions that are discussed as opposed to a more general interest history, so you might be more interested in reading the book, for example, if you went to one of those Jesuit high schools more than the rest of us, but still an invaluable contribution. What jumped out to me was that the Jesuits are able to attract these simple, salt-of-the-earth guys from very rural parts of the country who end up doing extraordinary things. James Prophet, John McCarthy, John English, just to name a few of the guys that did remarkable things in the society in English Canada over the years. I want to point out one thing, the work for social justice. The Jesuits are really ahead of the rest of us in the church in this regard, in terms of social analysis, bringing these gospel principles into that conversation. In the book we read about the Jesuit Forum, Canadian Jesuits International, Ignatius Jesuit Center, all of which are doing really groundbreaking work, especially true in light of the ecological crisis. And the last chapter of this book deals with integral ecology and how the Jesuits have really been prophetic in being able to name this problem that we're now all facing as a species in terms of caring for our common home, the earth. You can't really know where you're going unless you know where you've been, and certainly the Jesuits have played a really remarkable role in the development of Canada, especially in the English part of the world. So enjoy reading during Canada's 150th birthday, Conscience of a Nation, Jesuits in English Canada from 1842 to 2016, edited by Jacques Minette.